Please welcome APOR Conference Chair Gina Waleko.
Welcome, everyone. And thank you all. Thank you for attending this year's conference. We hope that you are having a fantastic time. I hope that you're having a fabulous time. And I hope that you're all enjoying the collaborative spirit that I think is flowing here tonight. So while I have your attention, I'd like to invite you all to next year's conference in LA, Los Angeles, for APOR's 81st annual conference. It's going to be May 13th through 15th, 2026. Before we begin recognizing our 2025 awardees, I wanted to share some news about the fun run. We had 59 participants, a lot of participants in this year's fun run and walk. And they were up very bright and early on the first day of the conference. And they took in the sights of downtown St. Louis. And our winners this year are Douglas Cameron with a time of 5 minutes and 23 seconds, was the fastest runner. Lindsay Hendren with a time of 6 minutes and 8 seconds was the fastest runner in the women's category. And our fastest walker was Nora Kate Schaefer with a time of 12:38. Congratulations. I certainly was not doing that. Sorry. Next up, I want to recognize a decades-old tradition, the APOR T-shirt award contest winner. This year's winning slogan is, "I'm not always right, but I'm usually within the margin of error." This slogan was submitted by Alexis Bortle from Cornell University. Congratulations. Now, eagerly anticipated are the golf winners. Todd Sheffer won the Todd Sheffer won the closest to the pin on hole 12 with a distance of 5 feet, 8 inches. Mike Dorsum won the longest drive on the 18th hole with a 260-yard poke. And our overall winner is Robert McAbee. Well done, everybody. Okay, now, welcome to this year's round of APOR Trivia. I'm going to ask you all to put away your phones and answer these questions only based on your knowledge prior to this quiz, because we want this to be a valid measure. And you can collaborate with those at your table, but if you are a past APOR award winner and the question is about you, just keep it to yourself. So, question number 1. What dynamic duo authored their original Asking Questions, a practical guide to questionnaire design? Was it A, Seymour Sudman and Norman Bradburn? Was it B, Peter Miller and Jürgen Habermas? Was it C, George Gallup and Elmo Roper? D, Joe Belden and Nancy Belden? Or E, Frauke Kreuter and Frauke Kreuter? Obviously, Frauke is 2 people, right? It's the only explanation for all of her accomplishments. Oh. That's right, everybody. It is A, Seymour Sudman and Norman Bradburn. Okay, number 2. At which APOR event did the phrase "chicken again" become the unofficial catchphrase due to the repetitive menu? A, Chicago 2022, B, Denver, C, Toronto, or D, Austin? That's right, this table. Cheaters. No, I'm just kidding. It was C, Toronto. Okay, now number 3. Which of the following is not an APOR t-shirt slogan contest winner? A, we'll wait tables for food. B, sometimes you wait the pole and sometimes the pole waits you. C, waiting for Godot. D, all of the above. E, none of the above. APORites have gravitas when it comes to puns. It was A, we'll wait tables for food. Okay, last one. Last one, not to be confused with an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Which APOR member has received APOR's most prestigious book, Lifetime Achievement, and the Innovators Award? A, Don Dillman. B, Robert Groves. C, Paul Lavrakas. D, all of the above. E, none of the above. It is D. I heard a D. Okay, that is all the trivia questions we have for you. If you want to learn more about the history of APOR, including the APOR Award, the History Subcommittee has a table in the exhibit hall where you can find out more about APOR and about its history. Now that we've proven our APOR knowledge, I'd like to invite all previous APOR awardees to stand or wave so we can thank you again for all of your contributions. Okay, now
Please welcome APOR President-elect Jordan Pugh.
Okay. Hi, welcome again. Hope you all enjoyed your meal. We are delighted to be collaborating together at this year's conference. Whew. But APOR would not be where it is today without the significant efforts of those who came before us. At this time, we would like to direct your attention to the screen so we can remember the dear colleagues that we have lost over the last year. It's hard to continue after that. Thank you. Now we would like to acknowledge the Burns Bud Roper Fellow Award winners, the Student Inclusion Fellowship, and the Student Conference Award winners. Please stand where you are and be recognized. Let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you. I am delighted to express my gratitude towards our APOR staff and our leadership team. First, I would like to recognize APOR's dedicated staff who are hopefully finishing their dinner around the room. Thank you for the excellent work on the annual conference and all other things APOR related. And of course, our 2024-2025 Executive Council. May we have a round of applause for these incredibly dedicated, hardworking individuals. Next, I have the pleasure of welcoming our newly elected councilors. These individuals will be serving the association for 2-year terms beginning immediately. In addition to the APOR Executive Council, listed here, we have over 300 other volunteers who serve APOR throughout the year. Could all of these people stand, please, so that we can recognize them? All of the volunteers, the council members, volunteers, please stand up. To all the committees, subcommittees, ad hoc committees, task forces, and working groups, thank you all for your dedication. I now have the distinct pleasure of thanking our 2025 Conference Chair, Gina Waleko, and Associate Chair, Morgan Earp. Morgan couldn't be here tonight, but let's give Gina a round of applause and as she joins us on the stage. APOR's 80th Annual Conference stands as a testament to Gina Waleko's vision and dedication. With an eye on the future and a deep appreciation for the challenges facing survey research, Gina has crafted a program that does more than just bring people together. It sparks necessary conversations and pushes the boundaries of how we understand public opinion. Under her leadership, this year's theme, Reshaping Democracy's Oracle, takes on the evolving role of AI in polling and survey research. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that the conference isn't just a place to share findings. It's a forum for examining ethical, methodological, and technological shifts shaping the industry. Gina has fostered collaboration, encouraged innovation, and championed the need for thoughtful discourse on how to navigate increasingly AI-driven landscape. And she's done so with reshaping the conference program multiple times because of the changing world that we're in. Her ability to connect people and ideas is reflected in every detail of this conference. From thought-provoking plenaries to engaging discussions about voter behavior, election outcomes, and the growing intersection of AI with survey methodologies, she has cultivated a space where scholars, practitioners, and policymakers can come together to chart a path forward. Beyond her remarkable attention to detail and organizational expertise, Gina brings warmth, thoughtfulness, and genuine commitment to strengthening the APOR community. Her leadership ensured that this conference wasn't just about the present, it's about shaping the future of public opinion research. Thank you, Gina, for your hard work and the energy you've poured into making this conference a meaningful experience for us all. Thank you. I also want to extend our thanks to this year's Associate Conference Chair, Morgan, whose enthusiasm for APOR's mission and future has been a welcome presence in the planning process. Her perspective and passion for innovation have already begun shaping the groundwork for next year's conference in LA, which she will lead as chair. We are thrilled to have her at the helm for 2026, and we look forward to the energy, creativity, and leadership she will certainly bring to the role. Now, I would be remiss not to recognize the incredible efforts of our conference sponsorship subcommittee, chaired for her final year by Darby Steiger. Darby, please join us on the stage. Under Darby's leadership, we've had our highest 3 years of sponsorship in APOR history. Let's give her a round of applause for her tremendous effort and her continued dedication to APOR. And now let's move on to this year's awards. I would like to extend our congratulations to the 2025 Seymour Sudman Student Paper Award, Deji Su Along, for the paper Leveraging Wearable Sensor Data to Enhance Survey Self-Reports, a Mass Imputation Approach. Deji, can you join me on the stage? This award-winning paper introduces a mass imputation method that integrates real-time sensor data with self-reported survey measures to overcome the inherent limitations of self-reports. By harnessing data from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey and the National Health Interview Survey, the study reveals that self-reports consistently understate physical activity, while sensor measurements deliver a more precise assessment. This work exemplifies innovative research that bridges theoretical insight and practical solutions, making a significant advancement in survey methodology. I'd also like to acknowledge this year's honorable mention for the Sudman Student Paper Competition, Stephanie Morales from the University of Michigan, for the paper Cross-Cultural Perspectives on Self-Rated Health, Analyzing Conceptual Differences on Understanding of Health Through Web Probing. Congratulations, Stephanie. Please stand if you are present. Congratulations to both Deji and Stephanie. Each year, APOR hosts a student poster competition. This year, we had several strong student posters under consideration, but in the end, one clear winner was identified. Congratulations to Sarah Ball from Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich for presenting Can Language Models Replace Human Surveys? A Technical Analysis. Sarah couldn't be here tonight, but let's give her a round of applause. I now invite Dawn Nelson to the stage to present the APOR Book Award.
Can I turn the page? Okay. The APOR Book Award was established to recognize influential books that have stimulated theoretical and scientific research in public opinion or influenced our understanding or application of survey research methodology. It is my pleasure to present the award to Stuart Soraka and Chris Vlezin for Degrees of Democracy, Politics, Public Opinion, and Policy. Chris, can you please join me on stage? Thank you. You're supposed to stand over there with a W. A winner. Okay. This influential work has significantly deepened our understanding of how public opinion shapes and is shaped by policymaking in representative democracies. At its core is a thermostatic model of public opinion in politics, which likens responsiveness to a thermostat. Citizens call for more government action when they perceive too little and less when they perceive too much. Through rigorous empirical analysis across the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, Stuart and Chris demonstrates that this dynamic feedback loop is a consistent feature of democratic governance. Their comparative approach reveals how political institutions, government structures, and policy areas influence the degree of responsiveness to public preferences. Degrees of Democracy stands out for its theoretical clarity, methodological rigor, and lasting influence. Since publication, it has inspired a wide body of scholarship, extended the thermostatic model globally, and helped clarify the complex relationship between citizens and policymakers. The book has been cited over 1,500 times, is held in more than 1,000 libraries, and has had nearly 6,000 digital downloads, clear markers of its enduring influence, relevance, and influence too. Beyond its scholarly impact, this work offers valuable insights for practitioners, emphasizing how governments can better respond to public sentiment to enhance democratic accountability and policy effectiveness. With this award, APOR proudly recognizes Degrees of Democracy for its exemplary scholarship and its profound contributions to the field of public opinion research. Our next award will be the Policy Impact Award, and I'd like to invite Renee Bautista to the stage.
The Policy Impact Award recognizes outstanding research that has had a clear impact on improving policy decisions, practice, or discourse, either in the public or private sectors. The 2025 Policy Impact Award is presented to the International Health Policy Surveys, the Commonwealth Fund with SSRS. To accept this award, we welcome Robin Rappaport from SSRS to join me on stage, and I also invite the others involved in this project to stand for recognition. The Commonwealth Fund's International Health Policy Surveys, led by Reginald Williams, Onira Gonja, and Evan Gammons, along with Robin Rappaport, Rob Manley, Christian Klein, Molly Fitch Friedman, and Jonathan Best at SSRS and at, hold on, here, I got confused with this one. And of course, with the Commonwealth Fund, has been a virtual resource for nearly 3 decades. These rigorous cross-national surveys compare health system performance across the US and other developed countries, offering timely, policy-relevant data to leaders, practitioners, and the public. Each year, the HPS surveys examine key population groups, such as the general public, older adults, and physicians, using a common questionnaire tailored for each country. In 2024, the survey reached national representative samples in older adults in 10 countries, including Australia, Canada, France, Germany, and the United States. The IHP surveys focus on urgent and persistent issues in healthcare, including affordability, chronic disease management, mental health, equity, social determinants of health, and provider burnout, especially in the post-COVID landscape. Beyond producing critical benchmark data, the IHP surveys have sparked global dialogue, encouraging nations to learn from each other and rethinking how care is delivered. For their lasting influence on health policy, commitment to global collaboration, and dedication to improving care worldwide, APOR is proud to recognize the IHP surveys with the 2025 Policy Impact Award. Congratulations to all involved. Our next award this evening will be the Mitofsky Innovators Award, and I would like to invite Alisu Shoa-Glonsberg to the stage.
The Warren J. Mitofsky Innovators Award recognizes accomplishments in the fields of public opinion and survey research that occurred in the last 10 years or that had their primary impact on the field during the last decade. The 2025 Warren J. Mitofsky Innovators Award goes to Civic Health and Institutions Project, a 50-state survey, or CHIP 50. Accepting this award on behalf of CHIP 50, please welcome James Druckmann to the stage. I also invite others in attendance who were involved in this project to stand for recognition. The American Association for Public Opinion Research presents the 2025 Mitofsky Innovators Award to the Civic Health and Institutions Project, a 50-state survey, CHIP 50. Launched in April 2020, the Civic Health and Institutions Project, a 50-state survey, CHIP 50, has transformed public opinion research by collecting large, state-specific survey samples on issues critical to American society. Through its rigorous data quality procedures and user-friendly web platform, CHIP 50 has made high-quality data widely accessible to survey researchers, policymakers, and the public. Over the past 5 years, CHIP 50 has produced 35 waves of state-level data encompassing over 900,000 survey responses and has been featured in more than 100 public reports and 30 peer-reviewed academic papers. Its findings have been cited over 1,000 times in the media, reinforcing its influence on public discourse and decision-making. For its innovative approach to building a novel social science data infrastructure, enabling researchers to analyze timely representative samples from all 50 US states and the District of Columbia, APOR is proud to present the 2025 Walter Warren J. Mitofsky Innovators Award to CHIP 50. Up next is the APOR Inclusive Voices Award. I would like to ask Randall Reese to come to the stage.
All right. This print is smaller than I thought it would be. Okay. Oops. The American Association, oops, I'm sorry, we're on the wrong page here. Okay. Should have went to rehearsal today. There we go. All right. The Inclusive Voices Award. This award recognizes the important data sets, research, and survey methods that have improved the ability to study complex social phenomena related to understudied populations. This year, the 2025 APOR Inclusive Voices Award goes to the Program for Research on Black Americans. Accepting the award on behalf of the Program for Research on Black Americans, I want you to welcome Robert Taylor to the stage. I also invite any others in the audience that are associated with the program to stand for recognition. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. The Program for Research on Black Americans is being recognized for its pioneering work that started over 4 decades ago. It has developed innovative qualitative and quantitative research methods to understand the lives of Black Americans and African descent communities, starting with the National Survey of Black Americans, which was the first probability sample study of Black Americans, and then the National Survey of American Life. The program has continuously demonstrated a commitment to transparency and openness to sharing its data with the broader research community, including trainees. Over 1,000 journal articles and book chapters are based on these survey data sets. Over 100 dissertations have also benefited from the data in these surveys. Through its work, the PRBA has not only deepened our understanding of the Black American experience, but has also expanded the possibilities for inclusive, equity-driven research practices across disciplines. We celebrate the PRBA's enduring impact in leadership and contributions to the broader research community.
Okay. Next up, we have the APOR Public Service Award. This is intended to recognize and honor outstanding public service and dedication to maintaining APOR standards. It recognizes individuals who work on behalf of the public sector and have contributed to the quality of government surveys, data systems, research, leadership, and policy. The 2025 APOR Public Service Award goes to Linda Young. Linda couldn't be with us today, but Dr. Young has national level impact as Chief Mathematical Statistician and Director of Research and Development at USDA NASS. Her work influences all facets of U.S. agricultural statistics, affecting a vast range of stakeholders from farmers to policymakers, and is instrumental to our nation's statistics on agriculture and agricultural production. Dr. Young has held various leadership positions within professional statistical societies, including serving as president of the Eastern North American region of the International Biometric Society, vice president of the American Statistical Association, chair of the Committee of Presidents and Statistical Societies, and member of the National Institute of Statistical Sciences Board of Directors. At USDA NASS, Dr. Young has championed several important initiatives, including imputation, deterministic edits, and logic, or IDEAL, which automates the editing and imputation processes to improve the quality, consistency, and efficiency of survey data processing. This project centralizes editing systems, applies uniform standards, and integrates new algorithms to enhance processing efficiency and scalability through cloud-based systems. The IDEAL engine uses explicit data editing rules and imputation models to fill in missing or incorrect survey responses, ensuring that survey responses are valid, reliable, and internally consistent. This innovative approach significantly reduces manual labor and error-prone processes, leading to more accurate official statistics. The publication of IDEAL's technical specifications aids in the promotion of survey data quality best practices. Congratulations to Dr. Young. The next award will be the Sirkin Award presented by Ipek Bilgin. Please join us on stage, Ipek.
The Monroe-Sirkin Award in Interdisciplinary Survey Research Methods is given annually to a distinguished survey researcher for contributions to interdisciplinary survey research that improve the theory and methods of collecting, verifying, processing, and presenting or analyzing survey data. The American Association for Public Opinion Research, in collaboration with the American Statistical Association, presents the 2025 Monroe-Sirkin Award to Dr. Kirk Walter. Please join me on stage, Kirk. In his more than 50-year career, Dr. Kirk Walter has made exceptional contributions to the field of survey methodology and statistics. His varied and influential career includes a 14-year tenure at the U.S. Census Bureau, where he was chief of the Statistical Research Division, and more than 30 years at NORC in many capacities, including Executive Vice President, Chief Statistician, Principal Statistical Advisor, and Distinguished Senior Fellow. Kirk has made significant contributions to some of the industry's most important survey efforts, including the Current Business Surveys, the Current Employment Statistics Program, the Current Population Survey, the decennial censuses of population and housing, the Consumer Price Index, the economic censuses, the National Resources Inventory, the National Longitudinal Survey of Youth, the National Immunization Survey, the National Survey of Early Care and Education, and the Medicare Current Beneficiary Survey. Woof! And we are not done yet. We are not done. His book, Introduction to Variance Estimation, is a seminal work in the field that has been consistently thought and cited thousands of times over the years. Kirk has taught and mentored the next generation of statistics and survey methods professionals through his work at Census and NORC, as well as appointments at the University of Chicago, Iowa State University, and the George Washington University. Also, fun fact, Kirk and Monroe-Sirkin, I heard, were really good friends too, so closing the circle here. So with that, I'm going to give you the award. And now I will turn things over to Rohit Kandala, who will be presenting the APOR Award on FRACA's behalf.
Hey folks, how we doing? That's what I'd like to hear. The APOR Award for Exceptionally Distinguished Achievement, the association's highest honor, recognizes lifetime achievement and outstanding contributions to the field of public opinion research. Thank you to all the members of the APOR Award Committee, Nancy Belden, Kathy Frankovic, Rob Santos, Frauke Krauter. I was also involved. And yeah. Nora Kate.
I grew up in St. Louis, and I was born there. So St. Louis is a place that I think of as home. At some point, I decided wanted to go to graduate school. And for various reasons, ended up at the University of Chicago in their divisional master's program. And while I was at the divisional master's program, my sister Monica came to live with me. And at some point during the time we lived together, I broke a lens in my glasses. And that's how I became a survey researcher. Because I broke a lens in my glasses, I went to the optometrist who told me I needed $20 to get a new lens. And I didn't have $20 because I was a starving student. And my sister Monica worked for Norman Bradburn. He had brought with him to the college Rita Hinckley, his assistant. Rita Hinckley was friends with Marilyn Haskell, the head of human resources at National Opinion Research Center. Marilyn called Rita and said, "We have a problem. We need to hire somebody for probably 10 hours at $2 an hour to help glue covers onto the pads for this study." Rita Hinckley asked my sister, "Do you know anybody who needs $20? And Mo said, "I do. My sister needs $20 to fix her glasses." If I go back to graduate school, what goes with survey research? Sociology goes with survey research. So I applied to the sociology department, and I went back to graduate school to get my PhD. My dissertation committee wanted me to apply for academic jobs, so I applied to a number of places. The only interview I got was the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I got an offer. By the time I finished graduate school and finished my dissertation, I realized that I was really most interested in survey questions, but I really wanted to be working on things that I thought were important. And the researchers I knew at the Institute for Research on Poverty were doing studies about child support and how to shape policy about child support to be as effective as possible, something I thought was really worth doing. So I did a number of studies. Over the years, we had talked about applying principles you use to study interaction to studies of interviewers and respondents. And once I got tenure, it was kind of time to think about adding that to the mix. At least two different lines of research came out of that. One looking at interviewer-respondent interaction during the recruitment call and the opening of the interview, and then studies about interaction during the interview itself. So my farthest flung teaching was at Peking University, and the cumulative teaching that I did for the Joint Program in Survey Methodology, the Summer Institute, those courses, APOR short courses at ASA, the Statistical Association, and my regular teaching at the University of Wisconsin, probably about 3,500 students. So APOR, I think for people of my era, and I hope it's continuing, was really critical. I mean, survey research was not really thought of as a field at that point. And APOR was a fairly small organization, and the senior researchers at APOR were really accessible. The first conference that I went to, I was just completely astonished. It was like all the articles and books I had been reading had just come to life. All the authors were there. It was like a magical place. You could talk to Stanley Presser, you could talk to Bob Groves, you could talk to Norbert Schwartz, you could talk to Colm, you could talk to all these people and ask them to explain something that you didn't understand in something that you were teaching of theirs. It was just a fantastic kind of environment for a young scholar, and I'll always be grateful to APOR for that. And I've seen it really as part of what I want to do as an APOR member and have tried to do over the years, is to be encouraging to young scholars. Well, I would say, first of all, that I don't feel that anything I've done is really my mark, because I have been fortunate in having a really wonderful set of collaborators my entire life as a researcher. you can't tell what is your incremental addition to something. It doesn't even matter by the time it's done. And there's no particular reason to care about, are they mine or not mine? For me, the question is, are they useful? Do they help us see the world better? If they are, we can just jump over the questions of whose idea that was and simply, march forward and try to see the world the way it is. My siblings are really part of the foundation of my life. They're my family. And when I adopted my daughter, Emma, that was one more piece of family. To have good relations with your family and to have them keep growing and deepening and getting better, you have to work toward honesty and lose a kind of defensiveness and have trust. And research requires exactly those qualities. To be able to do something that incrementally improves the work of the statistical system and improves the work of individual researchers has been really a privilege. I mean, underlying everything that I've done, I think, is really the question of how do we know what we think we know? And how can we get a better, clearer, more accurate, more honest picture of the world?
Nora Kate Schaefer is an excellent example of what APOR stands for. She's an enormously curious intellectual, interested in meaningfully understanding varying groups of people. In doing so, she has contributed significantly to how we understand, design, and conduct interviews. And the social science community has benefited greatly from her advancements. She is also an incredible leader with a steady hand through crises, whether it be building the now flourishing University of Wisconsin Survey Center or leading APOR through 2019 and 2020. Many in this room remember 2020 as a time when the world stood still, and that made our work even more pressing. Nora's seminal work on synthesizing conversational analysis with Stanley Presser in The Science of Asking Questions fundamentally changed how questionnaire design is considered. The inconsistency with which interviews were conducted had significant effects on responses. And few have studied this interviewer-interviewee dynamic as thoroughly as she has. Standardizing this process, especially for complex, sensitive, or cross-cultural topics, enables all of us to yield more meaningful responses and ultimately understand each other better. Nora's charitable service record is almost as long and important as her academic career. Not only has she mentored countless students, but she has also served on an unusually high number of government committees, panels, and boards, as well as being a leader in MAPOR, APOR, and ASA. She also served as an editorial board member of MAPOR's flagship journals, Public Opinion Quarterly, and Journal of Survey Statistics and Methodology. No one should be surprised when Nora's application had an overwhelming number of signatories from giants in the field, including an endorsement from the late Don Dillman. Ultimately, so much of social science is an exercise in empathy. To understand people, you have to meet them where they are. And that means being kind and approaching them without judgment. New data science and statistical techniques have allowed us to learn more about each other. However, no amount of data can fix or replace a poorly designed interview. Nora dedicated so much of her career to breaking down these barriers and was extremely generous in doing so, sharing her meticulously researched findings for the community's benefit. APOR is honored to have a member like Nora Kate Schaefer among our community, and we hope this award inspires others to be as impactful as she has been to the community at large. Thank you.
So, hello, APOR. This could be the last time I get to address you, and I have so many people that I want to thank, and some of them here, some of them not here. And I'm going to try to at least pay a little bit of attention to my notes, and in the hopes that I won't leave too many people out. But it's really, I have to say, impossible to prepare for this moment because it's really overwhelming, and there's just so much gratitude and feeling for my life as a researcher, a member of APOR, all of it. So I'll try to get through it, and please, I ask for your patience. So I just want to say I'm a very, very lucky social scientist, survey researcher, and sociologist. In large part by chance, I had the opportunity to spend my career thinking about things that I just could not help thinking about with people who were like-minded and who were remarkable and generous. I'm really a worker bee. I value relationships in which people work together to make something they value and get absorbed by that process. In our line of work, we take piles of money and we turn it into piles of data, and we hope that it will accumulate into knowledge. The goal is to end up, as I don't want to repeat myself, but the most accurate and useful picture of the world that we can put together. I was fortunate in learning about survey research, much to my surprise, from the ground up at National Opinion Research Center. I was there in probably half a dozen positions between turns at graduate school. At NORC, I could learn not only from Norman Bradburn, but from staff like Julie Antelman, Susan Campbell, people in field, people in all parts of operations. I was a programmer and spec writer for a while for cleaning specs. So it was a really grounded start in the field of a kind that very few people have an opportunity to have anymore. I lived my professional life in organizations, the sociology department at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, the University of Wisconsin Survey Center, and APOR, that were organizations that really recognized that nurturing the capacities of their members benefited the culture of the organization, the people in the organization, the field, and our future. Their emphasis in all of these organizations on supporting growth was especially important for me because I was extremely ignorant. At the Institute for Research on Poverty at the University of Wisconsin, Irv Garfinkel and Sarah McClanahan were my first mentors. They built into their projects about child support opportunities for me and Judy Seltzer to collect data that we could build into studies. We worked with Hongwen Chang, Yifan Lin, and other students, and with their generosity, they really made it clear to everyone who worked with them that it was our job to pass that on. Betty Thompson and Doug Maynard at Wisconsin were also collaborators in that tradition.
Jen Dykema, who had worked as an undergraduate at the University of Michigan with the great Charlie Cannell, introduced herself to me at APOR one year and said she wanted to come to Wisconsin and study interviewer-respondent interaction. How lucky I was to be found by such a great collaborator with complementary interests. The group of overlapping UW Sociology and UW Survey Center collaborators included Dana Garbarsky, Bo Hee Min, John Stevenson, Kelly Elver, and other students like Curtis Engstrom, as well as other staff. I'm grateful to all these collaborators. Working together, we got better and developed as researchers and as human beings. We shared the fun of working on great problems, and we really changed each other in the process. My thanks also to the Summer Institute on Survey Research Methods and the Joint Program in Survey Methodology, which do such a great job of training people in our field. And they also gave me the opportunity to train so many students, and teaching in those environments was so much fun. I want to also acknowledge the National Academies and the Committee on National Statistics, where I spent 2 terms many, many years ago, and many years on various panels. This institution or organization provides a way for researchers to give support to our really great federal statistical system and provides an interaction between those 2 spheres. I also benefited immensely from a year at the Census Bureau when Bob Groves was there, where I got to watch Elizabeth Martin, Nancy Mathewitz, Eleanor Singer, Karen Bogan, and others in action. And there's APOR, where different branches and generations in our field get to meet and enrich each other. During my 2 terms on council, which were widely separated in time, I could see these groups work together on the future of our organization and our field. My thanks to all of those on those councils, especially Dan Merkel and the others who saw us through COVID. My thanks also to MAPOR, where so many colleagues and friends are, it turns out, very kind to old ladies, which is something that I appreciate more and more every year. APOR and MAPOR provided me essential education, training, challenge, feedback when it was needed, and wonderful colleagues and friends. I hope that APOR and its chapters stay nimble enough to nurture what the challenging future will require of us. I thank some of you by name, and I know I've left some out, and I could just look through this room and think of reasons to be grateful to almost anyone I can recognize. But the names of all of you are just on my long list, and I also, some of you I know have been involved in challenging situations, and I really appreciate the opportunity to learn with you when I'm challenged as well as when I'm supported. My thanks also to my family for being my family, and they're just incomparable. So I'm the beneficiary of serendipity. And Stanley Presser was pointing out to me today that really we all are, but in some cases serendipity ends up on our side. I never had the goal, as far as I know, of being a survey researcher or a professor or winning the APOR award. Serving on the award committee, on various award committees over the years, you just really appreciate how many wonderful people there are out there, that for any award, there are many people who deserve it. I also came to appreciate what an honor it is to be nominated. And I want to thank anyone who contributed to my nomination, and also to the committee and for Frauke for considering the nomination. When Frauke told me the committee's decision, I was in the parking lot outside a movie theater getting ready to go see the last film of the Wisconsin Film Festival. And I had just gotten off the phone buying a pitchfork for the community garden that I manage. So it was an emotional moment, as you can. So I surprised us both by bursting into tears, which I could do any second again. And at that moment, like now, I just felt a really intense connection to my history in APOR and in the field, and a deep gratitude to the colleagues and friends here, and great appreciation for this meeting place. So my thanks to all of you for sharing these years and many moments with me. Thank you.